Hello and welcome for joining me. My name is Jillian Grace and I am going to be giving you a synopsis for the month of June. So we've got a lot of events going on. And the interesting thing about this is we've had so many events occurring just out of the blue, like spontaneous events occurring, that to have an active month on top of these spontaneous events are going to really challenge how balanced we've become. It's going to really challenge a lot of the things we've been working on to kind of see the progress that we've made. So I urge all of you to try and stay in line as much as possible with the things you need to do to stay balanced. If there was ever a month to do it, it's now, because we're headed into eclipse season. That's, a huge piece of what's going on right now. We're headed into eclipse season, so we're going to have some great opportunities for expansion of our mind and our energy. But it's important for us to harness them, or else they're going to end up harnessing us, which may not feel so great for a lot of us right now. Really quick though, June's AstroloYoga series is going to be the full set. So please take a moment to look at everything from the asanas to the mudras to the pet series. Please take a peek at the pet series. It's so rewarding for all your fur babies as well as you. It's a great way to balance out both. So super excited about the feedback on that series and just super excited just to even think of people out there just sharing that love with the beautiful animals that surround us. That just warms me so much, as well as healing and working with all of you as you guys heal yourself too. Also, June Spirit class is on the 24th at 7 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. Thank you so much for those who attended May. It was an excellent class. There was so much information and such a great community that's being created there that anybody who needs it, I'm going to put a link to the Patreon. There's a discount for the classes, and you can even sit in for a very little amount of money and just kind of watch and observe and, take notes and get whatever you need out of it for the patrons. And then you can also pay individually per class. And I'll put links for both of those down at the bottom of this video. Also, June's Raffle is tomorrow. So I will be reaching out to one of you to let you know that you are the winner. And then I'm going to start doing some meditation and my intuitive stuff to decide what unique piece of jewelry or art or just something that you need for your energy to keep it nice and balanced during this time. So I'm excited. I'll be reaching out to one of the Patreons within the next day or two. So really excited about that. That being said, we're going to jump right in, and you're going to catch me kind of glancing off a little bit. I needed to put notes for this month. It was that wild that I was like, I have to actually have these dates written down next to me because it's just insane to keep in my head. We are going to hit the ground running almost immediately on the 5th. The 5th is going to be the full moon in Sagittarius. It is also going to be the prenumbral lunar eclipse. So lunar eclipses are really unique because they are a huge connection with the divine feminine. So they go over the energy of the moon. And when they go over the energy of the moon, they kind of give you an opportunity to channel that energy through or bring that energy through, which is really unique because since this full moon is in Sagittarius, Sagittarius also rules the second chakra. The second chakra is the house of the hormones. It's the house of all of our our reproductive system for the most part as females, and a lot of reproductive organs as well, or reproductive areas or areas of elimination even for men. So we're going to be working a lot with that level of energy coming through us in that second chakra. So how we keep balance during this period, everything that's in the series is going to really be important for the second chakra area. So pay attention to the things in the series that specifically discuss the second chakra, and try to do the mudras and try to do the asanas and try to focus in on the breathing techniques, all of those things. Even if you pick one a day, that's going to be huge for you. Also, those of you who are Patreons and also receive the spirit bag, you received Carnelian, which looks like this. And you can't really see it. For some reason, it's like bleached out. It's actually super orangey. This is the stone to use for that second chakra. So make sure that you're carrying this, you're meditating with this. You have this maybe under your pillow, put it under your bed, whatever you need to do for this stone to be a part of your energy field. It's going to naturally balance it out. You also in your spirit bag received sage. Sage, this is the time to do it. So on the full moon is when you want to do sage primarily, because that's going to clear up your house and that's the perfect vibrational energy for what's going to be coming through. The really cool thing about this full moon and it being in the Sagittarius center is Sagittarius is actually ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the representation of Zeus, and Zeus was like the god of all gods. He was like the man. And it's really important that we understand the power that this alignment along with that eclipse is going to cause, because Greek mythology and the things that you learn about our alignments in our celestial background really gives us sort of a prelude to the type of energy power that's coming through. And this particular alignment is going to be occurring within a really strong field of energy for us. So it being with that Jupiter energy, that Sagittarian energy, that second chakra energy, all those things intertwined, it's important that you face any of your meditation practices, prayer practices, any of your practices towards the northeast or the north. So those are really, really big deals this month. So try to face those things towards the northeast or the north, because that's going to help pull the energy in much better. It's important to understand that these are benefic planets, which means they're here to benefit you. I like to kind of put that lingo together. It actually means that they're here to build you up, not tear you down. Malefic planets, malefic alignments tear you down. Benefic brings you up. There's also a strong vibration in my meditation that I'm receiving that Ursa Minor is important in this. And Ursa Minor is also the North Star. So the quick background of the North Star and the Ursa Minor constellation, there's a couple different theories, but both of the Greek mythology theories that are discussed have to do with the bond of a nurturer, or the bond of love of a mother to a child, or the bonding, caring, and nurturing for another. So that's another huge thing that's going to be occurring for us. So if we can combine that together, what we've got to do is provide ourselves with as much nurturing as possible, so that in turn we can stay nice and balanced, pay close attention to that second chakra, and do whatever we need to do in order to keep things nice and clear over the next few weeks for that field of energy or our emotional center. Super important, because we'll talk about it later, but we're going to be rolling into just emotion overdrive. I know we can't take this, but we have to take this because that's what we signed up for, and we've got this either way. Okay, that being said, so really quick checklist: lunar eclipse checklist. We're going to roll right into that full moon, both June 5th, and then we're going to get a tiny little break. Keep your Carnelian on you. Keep saging that house with that with the sage. Keep doing that. We're going to hit around the 18th of the month. Mercury goes into retrograde. So Mercury, we know, communication center, has a lot to do with whether or not we can connect in a way verbally, and being able to connect even through the ether, or how, appliances work, how technology works. That is going to be going haywire for a period of time, like Mercury tends to do. It's going to start on the 18th. So be very aware when you're trying to verbalize some of your emotions, because they may not come out well. So you should take some extra time to really sort through them first. If you're going to approach somebody about an issue or something that you need to take care of, be super careful with the way that you are going to do it, because you're going to have trouble finding the words. So keep that in mind. 18th, Mercury goes into retrograde, and then the roller coaster begins again. I'm not saying that there's not going to be roller coasters in between now, between the full moon and the 18th. It's going to be work. So keep doing your work as much as you can. Then we're going to roll into the 20th, which is the summer solstice. Summer solstice is wonderful. Any solstice or equinox is great about writing what you want, your intentions for the next period, and just releasing them out into the ether. That's super important. But more importantly, I think a bird just tapped on my window. The birds are wild outside, so I keep getting like distracted by, you could probably hear them tweeting away. They're going insane, and I actually have like this crazy squirrel that is just like spinning in circles on a tree. It's like nature has gone as insane as we are. So that's a good sign. They're clearing too. And if they're on board, they're super, super strong. So they can clear much faster. So go nature. Okay. So when it comes to the solstice energy, you want to pull that in as much as you can. Use an element to release this out into. So if you use, you could rip it up and send it off in the wind, but that's littering. So if you write down your intentions and you rip them up and you send off the paper, I would not suggest doing that, but the wind is an element. Water is an element too. Again, I don't know if I would do that if I were you, because I kind of consider that not to be the best thing for the environment right now. But burning is really good too, to kind of release some of those intentions out. So pick earth, water, wind, fire, how you want to get rid, or how you want to release and send those off into the ether. We spoke a ton about ether in May's class. So I hope, so many people were like having these aha moments that reached out to me and were like, this is incredible. I know exactly what you're saying. I can feel it in my bones. So kudos and thank you to all you guys who are in May's class. That's exactly what's happening right now. So when you understand it better, you get it better. And that's why we need to release these things out into one of the elements as the ether element awakens. So take some time out to definitely do that on the 20th, because there comes the 21st, which is going to be the new moon in Cancer. And it's also going to be the solar eclipse. I don't think the solar eclipse is visible from the US, for those of you who are in the US, but it is in several other countries in different hemispheres. And so keep an eye out for that in different areas when you're out around that 21st time period. We're going to be having that solar eclipse. Solar eclipse means we're going to have a temporary block of the masculine energy, or a temporary amplification of the masculine energy, so I should say, because the sun is the masculine representation of our emotions, which can work in our favor. A lot of the masculine energy is awakening right now as I'm making this video at the beginning of June, and you're seeing a lot of anger come out, and that is coming out to be released. It is an overdrive of masculine emotions between anger and power and destruction that we have been sort of trying to wrap our energy around for quite some time. So that's currently clearing, which is a good thing. Don't feed it. Try your best to, when the anger rises within you over things that you might be seeing that are making you angry, again, don't try to fight something with the same thing that you're trying to clear. Instead, try to center yourself in happiness and peace, in love. How you do that is you take some time out for yourself to nurture yourself. You focus somewhat on any part of this AstroloYoga series that's out that can all help you. If you don't like that, then you can do your own types of techniques and your own types of healings. Just please do something. Go for a walk in nature. One thing I do want to warn all of you against for this month is grounding when you're in a bad mood, or when you're frustrated or angry or lost, because the vibration of the earth and how the ether is rising through it, if you ground when you're in that state, then you are going to cause yourself to lock in at that state. And that's something you don't want to do. So try to get yourself to a happier spot, which can be easier said than done. But sometimes if you're in a bad mode, taking a nap will break that mode up. Going for a walk outside, listening to some music that reminds you of some really great things, watching nature, doing some yoga, doing some breathing techniques, doing some mudras, working on your dog, like the pet series talks about. All those things will get you to a happier spot, and then ground. Don't ground beforehand if you're not in a good place, because you're going to lock in at that vibration, and then that's going to be bad news for you, because you're going to be getting all that earth stuff as well. So try your best this month also to ground, but ground in happiness and peace, and ground in more of a positive state of mind. That's going to be important, because on the 21st, with that sun in the eclipse and that new moon being in Cancer, Cancer is the emotional center. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So there we have a new moon ruled by the moon. Oh my goodness. So the moon is the rise of the feminine energy. It's the energy of the emotions, the energy of what our feelings do. It's the symbolic representation of the ether that's awakening, which we're learning how our emotions and those vibrations travel and how they affect things and how they change what's around us and how we can work with them and how we have to honor them and all those different things. So it's going to be a huge awakening around that period and a huge amplification of it. But your emotions are going to rise. You're going to be shown a lot of emotional energy that may be in need of being worked on a little bit, in need of being healed. There's a lot of different things and reasons that is going to start rising within you with all these emotions. So try your best to stay balanced so you know what's yours and what is everyone else's, or what is the collective's releasing, because if both of those combine, there could be some trouble. It is also Cancer, and the energy that's coming in on the new moon is the ruler of the third eye, which makes perfect sense because that's your intuition. That's where our ether comes from. That's where our intention comes from. I mean, it's like puzzle pieces, folks. This is so easy to put together intuitively that if it was made any more obvious, it would be so blatant that it wouldn't even be fun to be here anymore, because you wouldn't be figuring anything out, and you wouldn't be expanding, and you wouldn't be learning about different things. You would just be like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Literally, it's that obvious. So as that ether expands, that third eye is going to open up. It's the house of our intuition center. It's the house of our pineal gland. It's the house of what we've been hearing so much about, that science is focusing on, that science is bringing to light finally, that science is freaking out about because they're like, oh my God, this piece that we've known has been here but haven't been able to explain it. Now we really don't know how to explain it. This could change everything. And now they're super panicked because if it changes everything, then it might undo everything. And nobody wants to be wrong, let's face it. It's tough to admit that change is necessary, but change is necessary across the board. And that's what's happening. So during this period of time, a week before and then following at least a week after until the next full moon hits, pay really close attention to your sixth chakra. Do the sixth chakra meditations, do the sixth chakra asanas, do the sixth chakra mudras, do the sixth chakra, everything. Do your lapis stone, which is hidden underneath all my 1,000 notes here. So this is lapis. Very different. Well, not very different. It's sort of really close. That's why I'm going to show you the two between sodalite. So sodalite, many of you received in your May spirit bags. This will still work just fine. Lapis, though, you can see that those crazy inflections of gold in it. This one is going to be the awesome one this month in your spirit bag. Again, carry it. Hold it during a meditation. Put it in the sun to clear, because again, these are living energy, just like the stars, just like us, just like the molecules, just like the earth. Everything is living, breathing ether in some way. We're awakening and understanding this. So make sure that you do something to cleanse it, like put it in the sun so it can clear off or something like that. Great thing to carry, though, to keep you nice and balanced, especially when those emotions go nuts. You can just sit there and rub it and hold it when you're getting too emotional. It is so helpful. So let me make sure I've got my checklist. And I do think I've got my checklist. Fantastic. Anyone who has any questions or anything like that, please send me an email at thespiritthatisyou@gmail.com or jilliangrace@gmail.com. I am here for all of you, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you guys. Do not panic. Please continue to look for updates. I do a lot of live updates for all of you to make sure that you're nice and balanced throughout the month. And please subscribe to the Jillian Grace Network channel so you don't miss any of these updates. I am working with you. We are working together. We are growing this beautiful community to create this beautiful explosion of everything that we've always dreamt of. Try to keep your mindset there. And if it slips off, then send me a message and I'll let you know. Cut it out. Get back on board, because we need you. We need all of us right now. Because together we are strong and we are so powerful. Thank you so much for growing the spirit that is you. My name is Jillian Grace, and please hit subscribe. And I hope to see you guys all in the June class. It was awesome. Thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful month.